Hey, good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? It's Tuesday Talks at 10:30. We'll give you a few seconds here to come on. But let me know you're here. Just say hello. Okay, let me know you're on and we can get started. So this is Tuesday Talks at 10:30, where I come to you every Tuesday at 10:30 and we talk about different things. We talk about coming back home. We talk about oneness. We talk about grief and death and dying. And, you know, it's one of those things where it's hard to talk about some of these subjects with other people. So every Tuesday at 10:30, we talk about them. Hello, Dwight. There we go. I see that we've got a comment coming up. So good morning. So today we're going to talk about your great comeback. And just let me know when you're on. If this is the first time you've been on, put a 1. So I can personally welcome you after the live. Let me know where you are watching from. I always like to see where you're watching from. And if this is a replay or if you're on the actual podcast. So I've got a couple events that are coming up. July 20th, there is a gallery reading here at Hip Gypsy Emporium in Chambersburg. And all these events are listed on my event page or on the website. August 17th, there's an intimate group reading here also at Hip Gypsy Emporium. Then August 28th and 29th, I will be in Bel Air, Maryland for 2 days of private readings. In September, some really cool things are happening. I'm going to be starting my book tour, and the cities and the areas I'll be in will be up on my website, and we'll be talking about them more and more as that gets a little bit closer. But that's the Only a Whisper Away book tour. So we'll be featuring the book My Head Knows But My Heart Still Hurts. We'll be doing gallery readings and just kind of traveling around to a couple different states. I know Bel Air is one of them. We're looking at Berkeley Springs, Shepherdstown, Carlisle, Philadelphia, Havre de Grace. These are some of the areas that we're looking at. The 28th of September, I'll be in Chambersburg at the Hammer and Stain. We're doing candles and cards where you're making candles, and we do angel card readings. And then October 19th, I'm doing a gallery reading at Hammer and Stain as well. And I'll have other events that are coming up in Bel Air, and we'll be announcing the tour dates for the book as well. So good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everyone is having a great, wonderful morning. I see a Maryland person is checking in. Good morning, Maryland. So I always like to state my intentions before I start. That way you know who I am and what I'm about. My name is Stacy. I am a child of God. I'm an evidential medium and a spiritual healer, and I've been given a gift from God to channel spirit using love and light for my higher good and the higher good of those that God puts in my path. I'm not the medium that says I see death all around you and you're going to be dead in 10 days. My gift, my prayer is that God, that spirit, that angels bring in the most loving message to help your spirit heal. If you were to have a reading with me, this is what you would hear in front of the reading, and then there's a little bit more that explains more about how channeling works and how your loved ones come through. Today is not a reading. Today is not an angel card reading. Today is Tuesday Talks at 10:30. So we're talking about your great comeback. And I was doing some, some reading, some research on different things about what to talk about. And it just kind of came to me that, have you ever thought about what your comeback would look like? Have you ever thought about coming back? When you think about musicians or rock groups or athletes or any type of professionals, sometimes they go dormant for a little while and they're not around for a little while, and then they make this great comeback. Well, while they're secluded, while they're not around, they are doing inner journeys. They are, rewatching maybe if they're an athlete, what their form looked like, or, how they could be improved, how could be better. Maybe they're healing from an injury, but they always make this great comeback. And that's what brought me to this quote that says, I watched myself go from the happiest and the most outgoing person to fighting every day to heal. So yeah, it's personal. It's a comeback. So I wanted to talk about that because we all go through different seasons of our life where we need to make this great comeback. So I just wanted to give you the question, where are you right now? We have so many chapters in our lives, so many things that we go through in our life. But where are you at right now? Are you happy? Are you confident? Has the chapter turned and you're kind of defeated or lost in seclusion? Or have you gone through that chapter and are you healing and walking through these things? Or are you at the other chapter where you're making your great comeback? So it's thinking about, have I hidden myself away from the world where I'm healing, where I'm learning, where I'm growing? Or am I in front of the world basically being the best person that I can? And we've all had to reinvent ourselves. We didn't come out of the womb the person that we are. We had different seasons in our life where we were, we were infants and we were toddlers and things were brand new and we were learning, what not to touch, basically. If the oven is hot, you don't touch the oven. You don't touch a candle. Things like this. We're learning at the toddler stage and we're inventing ourselves until we get to that preteen age where we're now in school and we're learning how to communicate with others and how to socialize with others. And we grow into our teen age, so we have to reinvent ourselves again. And in our teens, we learn what we should and shouldn't do. And even if it's something that we shouldn't do, we sometimes do it anyway, just out of curiosity. So someone commented, it's because they are focusing on their way. We're not looking at the outside force, feeling the acceptance. They turn to themselves. Exactly. So it's walking through that. When you're a teenager, like I was saying, there's things that that you shouldn't do, but you do anyway because of curiosity. And then you learn whether, well, I could have done this a different way, or never doing that again. And then we have to reinvent ourselves again where we become young adults. Maybe we're in college, maybe we're getting married. So we have to reinvent ourselves into being a husband or a wife or a college student. It's constantly reinventing ourselves. But while we're working through that, sometimes we take that step back and sometimes we kind of get in that seclusion and we do that inner journey and we think about what we've learned and what we're going through. So only you can make yourself feel a certain way. So wouldn't it make sense that if only you can make yourself feel a certain way, that only you can free yourself? So it's that choice that you have to make. It's that choice of staying secluded. It's that choice of working through and healing. And it's that choice of coming out brand new. So part of the healing process is recognizing, when you've lost something, when you're not feeling like yourself, when you kind of feel uncomfortable and you have to kind of stretch your limits. Maybe something was taken away from you and you have to readjust how to reinvent yourself without that certain thing. Maybe a job was taken from you. Maybe you lost a loved one. Maybe you had to move. All these things put together brings you into that part of yourself where you have to reevaluate who you are for your great comeback. And when I think of the great comeback, I think about the phoenix. For only from the ashes of who we are can we rise to be who we are to become. So it's transformation. It's taking the parts of yourself, that learning, that wisdom, that evolving, to make yourself better. Athletes do it. They do it all the time. Actors do it. Musicians do it. Do you think musicians don't practice over and over and over again to get better? And they have, 15, 20 takes of one song until, man, that's exactly the way we want it to sound. And they listen to it over and over and over again, and they change it and they adjust it till it's where it needs to be. Well, you're your own musician. You are in charge of your own life. So it's time to allow yourself to make those adjustments. So it's thinking about your great comeback. It's time to walk through the healing. And even though you're walking through the healing, it's something that's going to be a part of you for the rest of your life. Don't let that defeat, don't let that seclusion define you, and try not to get stuck there. This is what it's like, that line in the sand that people talk about. Where am I going to go? Am I going to go north, south, east, or west? How am I going to recreate myself? What have I learned to make myself better in? So when I say all this, I wish I could tell you that this was going to be super easy. I wish I could say to you, this is all you have to do. You have to recognize this stuff and then recreate yourself and bring yourself back. But it is that inner journey. It is that looking deep within yourself. It's that recognizing who you are and who you want to become. It's allowing yourself to walk away from things or walk towards things. This is all a part of life. And we reinvent ourselves and we have our great comebacks several times in our life. Deep thoughts, inward journeys, releases. Sorry if you're hearing my dogs, they're going crazy for some reason. So have you watched yourself as you come from being at your happiest to that inner journey, to recreating yourself, to fighting every single day to heal? When I was going through depression years ago, it was a fight every single day, figuring out what my triggers were. Sometimes I didn't know what the triggers were. It would just happen. It was that deep journey of looking at things that I had not walked through and healed, that I had pushed down deep within my being from past traumas that I thought that I had walked through, but I had not. So it's walking through all of that. And when I was thinking about all of that, this came to me where it said, I was down. And when I was down, I found that I could rise again from walking through the pain and working through the pain. I was quiet and still. And what I realized is that I'm still here. I'm just different. And that I hadn't wandered that far. And that's all who we are. And when we wander from who we are, I don't like to say that, oh, I feel so lost. I feel like there's a change coming. I feel like there is a shift coming. And it's putting the clutch in and shifting gears and letting the gas off and moving through it, whether you do it fast or slow. Put yourself in neutral and pause for a little bit. But it's preparing yourself for your great comeback. So you were right there in that. You didn't go anywhere. You were just on pause for a little bit. So instead of sitting in that and getting distracted and falling deeper into it. It's kind of putting the brakes on things and rolling back and thinking, what brought me to this moment in time? And it's crying, and it's journaling, and it's talking to others, and it's reinventing yourself. It's learning how to be the new you, because from the ashes of who you were, you will rise to be who you are supposed to be. So that was just something that I really wanted to talk about today, because I just feel like there's so many things that are going on right now in this world, and there's so many things that are coming about, and this great comeback for yourself is so critical. When you feel like you've been defeated, when you feel like you're in that chapter where you've lost the self-confidence, where maybe you're walking through depression, it's sitting back just like an athlete does, just like a professional does, and going into seclusion for a little while, looking at where you've been, where you've made your mistakes, what you have learned to make your great comeback, to come back into your life bigger and better than what you were, to gain that confidence once again. Because if we were the same as we were when we were first born, how boring would that be? We've learned, we've grown, we've succeeded, we've failed. And all of that makes up who you are. So I'm just asking you to prepare yourself for this great comeback. Where are you at right now? Are you happy and are you confident? Are you quiet and meditating and thinking about healing and fighting through that healing? Or are you ready to burst through that ribbon and make your great comeback? Because life is full of a lot of great comebacks. Don't give up. Continue to grow. Continue to be. For only from the ashes of who we were can you truly rise to who you truly need to be. Fighting every day to heal, because it's personal. It's you. It's your comeback. So that's what I wanted to talk about today on Tuesday Talks at 10:30, talking about your great comeback. You're in the perfect place of where you need to be right now. God has a plan for you. You just need to choose to walk that path or not walk that path. You're the only one that can choose to set yourself free. You're the only one that can speak to yourself in certain ways. You can cheer yourself on, you can figure things out, or you can critique yourself to a fault that continues you in this spiral. I say, rise from those ashes, learn from your mistakes, and prepare yourself for this great comeback. I'm ready to see it. I'm ready for the great comeback. Are you? So this is Tuesday Talks at 10:30. I wanted to talk to you about your great comeback. I wanted to talk to you about not giving up, getting quiet, meditating, journaling, walking towards things, walking away from things. Sometimes you need to walk away from certain people, places, and things for your great comeback, because sometimes they are holding you back. Close that door, wish them well, open your new door for your great comeback. So this is Stacy Needenthal, Connecting to Spirit with Stacy. This is Tuesday Talks at 10:30. I love you. I am prepared to cheer you on for your great comeback, because for only from the ashes of who you were can you rise to be who you need to be, fighting every day to heal, because it's personal. It's your comeback. All right, guys, I will see you all next Tuesday at 10:30 on Tuesday Talks at 10:30. I'm not sure what we'll talk about. If you have a suggestion about what you want me to talk about, message me. Sometimes I like longer topics. Sometimes we can do some interactive, but today it's all about you. It's all about your great comeback. I love you. I'm cheering you on. So come back strong. Reveal who you are, the new you, the reinvented you, because you were there all along. You just got quiet. You meditated. You found who you were because you weren't that far away. Peace out, guys. I will talk to you all soon. This is Stacy Neadenthal. Tuesday Talks at 10:30. Watch my podcast. Check out Elephant Journal. They've published a few of my articles. Grab my book, My Head Knows But My Heart Still Hurts, and the Crystal Addiction Diary. They're out on Amazon or here at Hip Gypsy Emporium. Be on the watch for my book tour coming up, and I will talk to you all soon. All right. Bye-bye, guys.